everybody is doing all right out in the world. So today's video is simply because I just realized that some dates had passed me by. So my 1 year YouTube anniversary has already passed, and my 1 year with my hearing aids has already passed. It's already passed. So I just want to talk about both of them briefly. Well, really the YouTube briefly because I know I mentioned it in my last video. But, having, and time is just going by so fast that it's just astounding sometimes. So, 1 year on YouTube, where am I now and all this other stuff. Well, I mean, I had more of a where I wish to be, all that stuff in the beginning. And then, the more I got into it and the more I got like just relaxed with it and wanted to have fun with it and just hop on, say, whatever is on my mind and keep it pushing type of thing. It just never became the strategic channel that I thought it was going to be. Right? It just didn't become that. And then plus, like on the side, I really had got into my writing a lot more, and my passion was for the writing more so than doing making videos. But I do like this too because it's fun and it's different for me, and I'm consistently trying to push myself and do things that I don't typically do or that I wouldn't typically do, just so that I can continue to explore myself and expand and learn, and also just like getting comfortable with social media and how many people actually are in tune with social media, which it seems like the whole wide world, right? So, like a year later, I still feel the same in a sense that it's something that I want to continue to keep doing. And it's something that I'm still, learning from and navigating. Like, I do look at the analytics and all that stuff just because I'm just learning. Like, I've never gotten into this kind of stuff, I've never had a need to. And I'm just in a place in my life where I'm just realizing, not really just, but just realizing like there is so much to learn. There are so many skills to obtain that can be obtained without going to get a college degree. And it could benefit me, you in the long run. So I feel like with social media and all this stuff, it's a lot to learn, and getting into AI, which feels so massive, but I've been able to get a couple of things done through it that would have taken me longer before, but there's still so much to learn in that area. And I'm just in the process of learning, and I am having fun with that. You know, I too had a goal of just like being able to get to a place where I'm monetized and I don't have to work anymore and all this other stuff. And then, and it's not to say that that can't still happen, because it can. I just don't have the desire to force myself to stick to a strict schedule when it comes to social media and posting, and not just YouTube, I mean just everything. And so that's where I am with YouTube. So I'm still here. Now I do aim to get a little more consistent because um, now that I have my blog out in the world, I want to get back to doing a couple of different things just for the sake of doing them. And I had another revelation uh, recently, and it came to me after I put the blog out. But then, like, I was looking at, old journals I went back through my YouTube from the beginning, watched a couple of videos. I traveled back in time through my Instagram just to see how my style has changed as far as, posting feel good content, healing, journey related content, and all that other stuff. And it hit me like, we're all here for a limited amount of time. We we all have a purpose here. And we may not know what it is now, but there is a reason that we are here and we are waking up every day. Um, I guess in a sense, it's up to us to figure out what that possibly is. But I think it also leads you to, how you find out what that is it's like the things that you do that make you feel good about yourself, about what you're putting out into the world. And then beyond what I am putting out into the world, I thought about, future generations and my family, like the babies that are coming up in the world now, in this world now. And, especially my nieces and my nephew, them getting older. And even though, like, I pray that I'm here to see all of them into adulthood, I hope I'm around to see that. But it also made me, more aware of my content and, the stuff that I am putting out into the world that is forever, because we all know that the World Wide Web is forever. What's out there is out there, and there's no like getting rid of it, really. And so then I was thinking, because I'm comfortable talking about death and dying, like I'm extremely comfortable with that. So I was like, the day that I leave this world, for my next lifetime, I would love to be able to know that I left something behind for my nieces and nephews, especially, by anybody that has known me, um, or anybody that wants to get to know me, that this stuff would be here. I and that made me feel really good about what I was doing as well. Like, I already felt good about what I was putting out there, but this was just icing on the cake. This realization, this revelation was icing on the cake. And so that's been on the back of my mind. And like, I want to do so many different things um that I would, specifically dedicate to them. It was just an idea. So I was just, thinking about that and all of the things that you could do. And I mean, and God only knows when you're going to go and what order you're going to go and all of this stuff, because you just don't know. Like, for us, we didn't expect the baby of the bunch to pass before all of us. You just never know. So with that being said, it'll be there. Um, and that makes me happy that they will have something, to physically see and hear. Because another thing about social media and people who have passed on and stuff is that it gives you the ability to still hear their voices, to still see their faces, to still see their reactions, to still see like a lot of things that you naturally will slowly forget over time. And I love, love, love that. And it really doesn't have to be anything that is publicly posted or publicly published or whatnot. But like, my sister, like, I still have her phone, and she still, with all her pictures, all her videos, and all this stuff. And I get to see her still enjoying her life, hear her voice, hear her laughter. And oh my God, like, those kind of memories mean so much to me, because naturally I do forget like her voice, her smell, which of course you can't really recapture that. And just like her overall face as she's talking and being and laughing and smiling and all of those good things, I have those things with access to her phone. And and it's something that I will always have with me and I will always carry with me, and it's not going anywhere. So it's just stuff like that that I think about And it also makes me more conscious of the content that I put out. And the healing journey is like such a huge part of that, because a lot of this stuff that I put out now is stuff that I no longer wish I knew then, because I needed my past to be where I am today. I needed my past to teach me all that I am learning now. The correlation between that, it's just like you have to experience it, or else you wouldn't know what to be aware of, what to watch out for, what to no longer align yourself with. And you won't really know that without really putting, being in it at the time. So I no longer say I wish I would have learned this sooner, and not have as much sadness and heartbreak and all of this stuff in my life. But I overcame it all. So it was supposed to happen as it did. And that's where I am with that. I'm comfortable with that. And so saying that, my healing journey content, which is what most of my stuff is when I say feel good content, is for them as well. Like, if it's not really if they have access to it, because the way technology is going, the kids have access to technology from like 2 years old. And so but they would also have that, and then like my blog as well, just to look at, to reference, to see. It feels like so many kids that are coming up, and they always feel like, because I believe I might have done this myself, that the older generation don't understand, or that they just don't get it. And we've all like had similar experiences. And so in a sense, even though like generational trauma and certain experiences, they can't be prevented, but I could be one of the many that can talk about these things and fully express myself and talk about my past and all that occurred and where it all led me to, just to be a source, a resource of whatever it can be for that particular person that happens upon my content somewhere in the world. And when I say that, it settles with me. And so that's why I know, like, I'm where I'm supposed to be. I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing. I feel so divinely guided to this particular purpose in my life. Like, it's just fulfilling. And so, yeah, like I'm happy. And this makes me feel good. So that sums up my entire 1 year update on YouTube. Even though it was a little more than that. It was a little more than that, but that's okay. That's what my channel is for. That is okay. So 1 year has passed with my hearing aids. I actually forgot that I did my sterilization and got my hearing aids within weeks of each other in the same month. So 1 year with my hearing aids. Okay, so what I will say is, because I know I did a 4-month update with these, so not a lot has changed since then. I'm still very, very satisfied with my hearing aids. I can say, like, this is the most comfortable and confident I have ever been with a pair of hearing aids. And that is coming from someone who lost their hearing at 2 years old and have been wearing hearing aids off and on since the age of 5. These are like the best pair of hearing aids ever. And I'm so thankful for my last job. Horrible environment, but great insurance. And so, because they're like top of the line. I would say they're top of the line. I think the audiologist said they were close to it, but whatever. I love them. And it's not just the hearing aids, because when I say that this is the most comfortable and confident I have been in a pair of hearing aids, I attribute that to therapy. She just helped me realize that my hearing loss was out of my control. Like that was something that happened to me because I let my hearing loss block so many things in my life and allowed me to put up with so much BS in my life. It's not even funny because I was just so ashamed of being out in the world and meeting new people and just embarrassed that I miss so much when it comes to communication and just being amongst a group of people and not catching everything that everybody is saying. And I used to fault myself for that. And I didn't have to do that. There was no need for that because it wasn't my fault. It was not my fault. I carried so much shame and just craziness within myself for something that I could not literally control. There was nothing that I can do about it. And I still miss stuff with the hearing aids on. It's just that now when I say confident, I have no problem saying, I cannot hear you. You need to speak up. Say that again. I used to be so embarrassed to ask someone to repeat something more than twice. And if I had to ask a third time, I would just pretend I heard and say yes or no or laugh it off or whatever. I used to just get my cues from the person that is in front of me. If they chuckle, I'll chuckle. You know what I'm saying? And I have been called out a time or two. Like, did you, because I either answered incorrectly and like, did you hear what I said? And I'm like, no, not really, And that's when I have to just speak the truth because I didn't want to ask them for the fourth or fifth time. And that's what it is. My hearing loss is moderate to severe. So it's like, Brandy, you're not going to hear everything. And even with the hearing aids now, I'm probably talking too fast. I feel like I'm talking really fast. And so with the hearing aids now, my issue is not necessarily hearing the person. It's just that now I hear everything surrounding me. So it might be a little difficult to tune in to a particular person when I'm hearing like so many other sounds and I'm just not used to hearing. So I remember when I first started wearing them and I used to talk about how loud the world is. So I feel like I've adjusted more to that because I willingly wear my hearing aids 90% of the day. And that's just so that I can further accumulate to my surroundings, because even though I'm hearing like so many different sounds, that's how it sounds. That's how the world sounds for a normal hearing person. And I still don't identify with that statement wearing my hearing aids. I still won't even say like I hear what everybody else is hearing because I still miss stuff. And but I'm okay with it. That's the big difference, is that I'm okay with missing stuff. And I still do have interactions where I am talking to someone and their voice is too low, and I will say like, I can't hear you, and they still won't increase the volume of their voice, and that used to bother me so bad. But now I just say, well, whatever you said is just what you said. I still didn't hear you, so I can't answer what I can't hear. And that's another thing I am stopping myself from doing, is responding to something I didn't hear and responding just to respond. I don't want to do that anymore. I don't want to pretend that I heard something that I obviously didn't hear. And if for whatever reason a person don't want to repeat what they said, then it just won't get answered, and that'll be the end of the conversation. I'm just not in a place where I'm going to be made to feel uncomfortable or anything negative because I didn't catch what someone said. And you'd be amazed by the people that are willfully obtuse when you do tell them. There's nothing that you have to guess with me anymore regarding my hearing loss, because I'm going to tell you, like, I'm comfortable introducing myself as Brandy and I'm hard of hearing, because that way you won't have any excuse to be intentionally or unintentionally rude. So yeah, that's where I am. Like, I'm very, very confident now in my hearing loss, and I'm thankful for that. Like, I thank God, my therapist, the journey, the work, everything, whatever, all of it that got me to feeling like this about myself. I'm thankful for it. Whew. Because I I feel like I deserve to be heard just like anybody else would. You know, I deserve to feel whole. And it's up to me to fight for that feeling, because nobody else is. And I just got to a point where I was just like, I only have this lifetime, this limited time, to just be all that I can be. And I don't want to waste any more of my time in anything negative. It just isn't worth it. It just isn't. And so, and it's also just being okay with being misunderstood. And I'm okay with it. I don't have to fight anybody about who I am, why I am, how I am. I don't have to convince anyone of anything about me. I'm not that person anymore. And I'm so thankful. Oh my God, that's a burden. That's a burden to carry. And I just release it. I've released so much stuff in my life. And that's why I say I feel light. I'm not carrying any more crap in me. I'm just not. So that's my 1 year update with the hearing aids. Like, I'm fabulous with them. I love them. And I know they probably last, I think they last like 6 years. So I'll be gearing up when the time comes. But yeah, 5 stars across the board. No complaints. Okay, no complaints. I can listen to my music, it's connected to my Bluetooth. I can answer my phone calls. Everything. Everything. I even don't care when I'm out in public and I'm dancing, I'm singing, or I'm talking to someone, because it's not obvious. It's not too obvious that they're in my ear. And when my hair is big like this, it covers them, but you can only see the string. And I don't even care about that. But like, a lot of times it looks like I'm talking to myself. I think I might have mentioned this in another video. But it looks like I'm talking to myself. And I think my mom had mentioned that. But I was like, what am I going to do? Like, am I just going to stop, doing what I've been doing because I look like a crazy person talking to themselves? I don't know. I mean, I don't care. I have to continue to live my life for myself and do the things that make me feel good, that make me happy. And, I have to just care less about how it looks. I'm not harming anybody. I'm not harming myself. I'm just being. And that's what I intend to do. That is my intention. That is always going to be my intention, is to just be. Period. And that's the video. I hope you guys have a great rest of your week. Hope you guys have a great rest of your week. There you go. And I have to rewatch this because, baby, I think I sped through the second part. But yeah, until next time.